Good morning. I'd like to say a few words about lifelong congregant Audrey Brown, who passed away in September, and about Amy Beach, the composer of today's anthem, which is dedicated to Audrey. Audrey Brown was born and raised in Dorchester and was a lifelong member of this church. She was also a longtime supporter of the music ministry. In the late 90s, when the sanctuary had to be rebuilt, Audrey advocated for the purchase of an historical organ to replace the old and somewhat mediocre electric organ that had been here. When I came to this church in 2002, the 1910 Mason and Hamlin piano was in sad repair and needed $12,000 worth of work. One Sunday, Audrey and another person came to me and said, "You're never going to raise that money with bake sales." And they each gave me a check for $6,000 to pay for the piano because they wanted the congregation to enjoy the instrument sooner than later. Audrey took it upon herself to polish the brasses every month at this church. She came in and took the cross, the offering plates, the candlesticks, and the vases out to Huntington Hall, often on a Thursday evening, so she could sit on the stage and listen to the choir practice while she polished. I often asked her to join the choir, and her response was always the same: "No one wants to hear me sing." She was a fiercely independent woman who lived her life on her own terms and steered her own ship, much like Amy Beach, the composer of the ballad for piano that I'll be playing shortly. Amy Beach was also a crusty New Englander and was a child prodigy. She could sing 40 songs from memory at the age of 1. By the age of 4, she was composing music in her head and writing it down at bedtime every day. She made her debut as concert pianist with the Boston Symphony at age 16 and is the first American woman to write and publish a symphony, which was premiered by the BSO and remains one of the great works of the 19th century, written by man or woman. Amy Beach was married at age 18 at her parents' insistence to a wealthy surgeon from Boston who was 24 years her senior. She grew to love him despite the fact that he laid down some ground rules for her artistic work during their marriage. She was not allowed to teach piano. She could only perform in public twice a year, and whatever proceeds were made could not go to further her artistic career but had to be given to charity. He encouraged her to take up composition because it was something she could do alone. She needed lessons, however, and he refused to allow her to take lessons because he didn't want her alone in a room with another man. So she taught herself. And the ballad for piano that I'm about to play was written early in her marriage, in her early 20s, with no training. After her husband passed away in 1910, Amy Beach took up performance again and devoted her time, her talent, and her treasure to the promotion of other female artists who needed a leg up. Audrey would have loved that story, and she would have loved the music ministry's focus on female composers in the last 2 years. I'm thankful to have known Audrey Brown, and I'm proud to dedicate Amy Beach's ballad for piano to her memory. Thank you.